Hello again, everybody. Zack Attack is here by Atakline now for this Monday, March 14th, 2016. Hope everyone had a fun weekend. I did, with a lot of things happening, including 2 gigs and a concert. Let's get to my concert first that I went to this past Friday night. I traveled to Saginaw, Michigan, to the Dow Event Center to see Paisley. Yes, country star there. I've been wanting to see him. I've been a big fan of his stuff. I kind of saw him when I went to the CMAs a couple years ago, but I didn't see him in full concert until this past Friday. And it was a terrific country show. About an hour 40 away from my house, so it was a nice little drive there. There's a couple I got from the show, by the way. The only cheap thing they have there. It was a very small venue. It's like the Palace, but smaller. So it's a nice little small venue. Got there a little early because they had a pre-show party at the Red Room, little banquet hall they have in there, with this local band named the Matt Ryan Band, who were terrific. Did a lot of originals, but got the crowd going and they did cover songs like Jason Aldean and Florida Georgia Line and Luke Bryan. People I've seen in concert minus Florida Georgia though. So the main show started at 7:30 with Eric Paisley, some 2 years ago, on the Nash FM Free For All. But it was an acoustic show, so he didn't have a full band. But he had a full band with this past Friday, which made it exciting when he was singing Friday Night, his one big hit that ended the show. He began with Somebody Good. He was a decent opener. Ran on for an hour. Not only did he do his 3 hits, including his new one, High Class, he also did songs he wrote for other artists, like Barefoot Blue G9 from Jake Owen, and Even If She Breaks Your Heart from Eli Youngman. So nice little opener. Then Brad went on for almost 2 hours, about 21 songs, every one of them a single, minus the title track for Moonshine in the Trunk. Now, like every major show, major artist who has a big catalog, Brad skipped a couple songs. He skipped The World, which was one of my faves. Didn't do When I Get Where I'm Going. He didn't do Whiskey Lullaby, I'm glad, because that's a sad song. And he didn't do Welcome to the Future. He didn't do a lot of good songs, but the ones he did do were great. He did Opened Up with Riverbank, then Water, and he also did one of my other favorites of his, I'm Gonna Miss Her, the fishing song. Also American Saturday Night he killed on, Online he killed on. Over in Alabama is one of my favorites too, that I play at Rescue a lot. And he did She's Everything, couple good slow songs, and this pacing was great. Even during the slow songs, didn't ruin the flow, because he ended the show with alcohol, monetize, all that great stuff. And Eric Paisley appeared doing Celebrity. I love Brad's setup too. He had a big screen behind him. It's a nice little setup, especially to use that big screen when they put the kid on stage and played, and I'm not kidding, they played Mario Kart on the big screen in front of everybody, and the kid won. A lot of Michigan references. They had Michigan State images on the screen. Even though it was a funny moment, Brad had a mini stage. I was in the middle, in the back of the arena, in the middle of the bowl. So there's a mini stage kind of by the middle. Got to see Brad a lot closer. And he signed the fan's hat. There was a Michigan hat, but he signed it with the West Virginia University logo, the Mountaineers logo. He even posted on Facebook, the only Wolverines Mountaineer hat ever. So that was a fun concert on Saturday. Great traditional country show. It's not hick country. It's not broke country. It's just traditional hillbilly country. Brad comes to your town. See him. Great country show. He was at golf books. He had the catalog minus the rowdy crowd, because there was more rowdy crowd at golf books. But Brad has a lot of hits on golf. That's why I compared him, because he has like so many hits in his arsenal. He skipped a lot, about 6 or 7, but hey, the ones he did do were great. Makes you not miss the ones he skipped. Now onto the gigs. I had 2 gigs on the same day. The day after Brad Paisley. St. Baldrick's in Romeo for the 6th year in a row, which I DJ'd like the first hour or so. Then my dad took over until 4 because I had to DJ a celebration party for the Romeo hockey team. Man, what a year for Romeo Athletics. First, my high school football team won the state championship back in November. I was there for that celebration. And then the hockey team, they won a state championship on Saturday. 3 teams in Wilmington went to the state championships this year. Volleyball lost in the state championships this year after winning the state championship last season. But 2 teams made it to the state finals and won. Football and hockey. And there was a hockey celebration on Saturday at the high school cafeteria. It was a fun event. A lot of people showed up, even with St. Baldrick's, because the news spread at St. Baldrick's. People were following the hockey. It's like, hey, our hockey team won. So people went to high school and helped the team celebrate their victory. And it was a nice little celebration party. And St. Baldrick's went pretty well. I was there for like the last hour, like after the wash. So a little bit disappointed I wasn't there the whole time this year. But they were understanding. At least it was for a good reason that I wasn't there the whole time. That my dad was playing music from a playlist for me. That was DJing for Romeo and the high school hockey team for the championship. Congrats to them. Congrats to St. Paul's for raising a lot of money for children's cancer research. If they actually do it, it's another story. So there you go. Great Saturday. I got 2 gigs this week. Friday, I got a mother-son dance in Almont, and then a private party on Saturday that I cannot disclose. Because there's some people who watch this video that may get mad at me if I enclose the private party details for Saturday. I will get killed. So we'll leave it at that. Now let's get on down with the news of the weekend. Starting with your number ones. Starting with your number 1 movie. With not a lot of competition. Zootopia remained the number 1 movie for the 2nd week in a row with 51 million. Well, the new movies that came out did okay. One movie tanked bad. First, you had 10 Cloverfield Lane, the whole movie making 24 million. While the new Sacha Baron Cohen movie, Brothers Grimsby, bombed big, $3 million only. Critics hated it. Because I'm a big Sacha Baron guy. Because I love the Borat. But I think the last 2 movies he made kind of burnt people. Bruno was sucky. The Dictator was just okay. The Brothers Grimsby looked decent to me. But it got slammed by the critics. It got slammed by audiences. So it bombed big time. The biggest bomb of 2016 thus far. Not even coming close to its $80 million budget. So huge bomb. It's not just the biggest bomb of the year, but one of the biggest bombs in box office history. Disappointing. Huge disappointment for Sacha Baron Cohen. Hell, I heard Sony limited advertising because they had a scene with Donald Trump in it. So that's why they didn't advertise it. And guess what? It suffered for it. So while we have a still number 1 movie, we have a new number 1 album in the Billboard charts as the 1-week win of 1975 ended by Kendrick Lamar and his surprise album. His untitled, unmastered album that he unveiled to the world by surprise debuted at number 1 with 178,000 copies, with 142,000 being pure album sales. It's been quite the month and a half for Kendrick. Despite not winning Album of the Year at the Grammys like he should have, he had a great standout and most talked about performance at the Grammys. And now his new album debuting at number 1. Exactly a year after To Pimp a Butterfly came out. And it came out at the same time and also debuted at number 1. He is the 3rd act since January of 2015 to score 2 number 1 albums in less than 12 months since Drake and Future. Because they both had number 1s, because Drake had his album, If You're Reading This, It's Too Late, speaking of surprise albums, and his collabo album with Future. Which he also had an album with that and a new album. Actually, 3 number 1s in less than 12 months for Future. DS2, the Drake collabo album, and his recent album, Evolve. So congrats to Kendrick Lamar for number 1. New number 1. Speaking of Drake, still number 1 single for 4th week. Rihanna still number 1. 4th week in a while. Yeah. Well, a lot of new songs getting in the top 10, including Lucas Graham's 7 Years, getting a big jump in the top. And also, I Took a Pill on Ibiza by Mike Posner. And Megan Trainor's new song, No, debuts on the chart. I like No. It's not all about that bass, but it's decent. It's kind of catchy. Debuting at number 11 from an upcoming album, Thank You. I rather that song be number one than Rihanna's song right now. Like, I'm sort of like Rihanna's song, but I don't play it because I can't find a good. When you're a guy like me that mostly plays adult parties and elementary school parties, you don't get a lot of opportunities to play songs like Rihanna work. Maybe at a bar, but I haven't gotten that Club 54 in a bit for the right audience. So congrats to you, Billboard number one. Now on to a lot of news involving classic rockers, with a band which we all knew it was gonna break up.
I'm delighted to say we've been
is breaking up after the death of one of its founding members. Since the death of Glen Frey back in January, that left a lot of people asking, are the Eagles done? And the answer is obviously, like I said, yes. Don Henley confirmed to BBC that the performance they did for Glen Frey back in the Grammys, with Jackson Browne taking over, and I thought the performance was just okay, is probably their last big performance. Saying that it was an appropriate farewell that we sung Take It Easy with Jackson singing, because he kind of wrote the song and Glenn finished it. Of course, I saw the Eagles a couple years ago on their History of the Eagles tour, which would have been their last major tour with Glenn, and the last tour in general. So it's like I could have, many people would love to see the Eagles go on, but it's like when you lose a major member, you can't go on without it. Like Motorhead can't go on without Lemmy. AC/DC not going on without Brian Johnson. Even if they say they're going to get replacement vocalists, no one's buying it. Because you know Brian Johnson's hearing issues, as we saw last week. And Eagles without Glenn, same thing. You know, you can't see the Eagles without Glen Frey. So I think the Eagles might be done. And is done, according to Don Henley. So, cheers to you Eagles for a great 40-year career. Over 40 years career. And thank you for the memories. Of course, they're set to receive their Kennedy Center honors a year late. They were supposed to get it last year, but they delayed getting the honor because of Glenn's health issues, thinking he'd be fine by next year, by November, but sadly, as we all know, that's not the case. Here we open the classic rock news. 2 Rock and Roll Hall of Famers announced separate tours today. Starting with a band who's going into Hall of Fame this year, Steve Miller Band. Saw him 2 years ago with Journey. Excellent, excellent show with them too. Great combination. And he is doing one show with Journey, along with Doobie and Santana, at AT&T Park on September 4th, which will end his North American Summer Tour, which will kick off on June 17th in Northfield, Ohio. Besides that, in 3 other Ohio shows, he'll be in Michigan twice, including at Pine Knob on June 24th. He'll also be stopping in Indiana, Minnesota, Wisconsin, a couple stops in North Carolina, Georgia, Florida, Texas, Nevada, California, Utah, Washington State, Oregon, and like I said, ending the tour with a big show, the San Francisco Jam, as I'm calling it, with 4 big San Francisco acts, Santana, Journey, Doobies, and Steve Miller Band. So, if Steve Miller's in your town, go see him. He's a terrific show. I think Jimmy Vaughn's with them, but that's not confirmed that Jimmy Vaughn's on the summer tour. So there you go. So we got that announcement from Steve Miller. We also got an announcement today from another Hall of Famer, an artist that's touring with them that's not a Hall of Fame, but could be one day. Lynyrd Skynyrd, who I saw twice, seen him with 30th Special and Bret Michaels back in 2010, and also saw him with Bad Company a few years ago, who's touring with Joe Walsh this summer. 2 awesome bands who live up to their tour name, One Hell of a Night. So Skynyrd's touring this year with Peter Frampton. they announced the first couple of days more shows are expected. But the tour will kick off as of now on June the 3rd in Albany. Where across the states with shows in New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Texas, Colorado, California, and Pine Knob on June 28th. It should be an awesome show. Both of these classic rock bills, along with another Hall of Famer, Jeff Beck, announcing a summer tour as well, touring with Buddy Guy, which will kick off on July 19th in Port Chester, New York. You're also in Connecticut, New Jersey, Virginia, and Middlebrook and Rochester on July the 30th. The tour will end right now on August 10th in California. There's a few dates solo in Pennsylvania and Connecticut that are just Jeff solo, but the rest of the dates will include Buddy Guys and opener. Single. A lot of Hall of Fame tour announcements today, with tours announced from Steve Miller, Lynyrd Skynyrd, and Jeff Beck. So that's it for the Atakline for this day. Thank you so much for watching. With that in mind, you've been attacked by the news from Zach. See ya, yeah.